crazy place. Everyone's just another face, unless we really dare to care. Every day's just filling space, unless we find some place to make a difference and not just stop and stare. Someone needs me today. I won't be afraid to lead the parade. It starts with me, with me. I will offer my shoulder to cry. It starts with me, with me. I am someone you can rely on. It starts with me.
Well, I guess joined the society back in the 60s, late 60s. The Our Lady of Charity Conference was formed in Atlanta, and it was formed by people from Vincentian from Christ the King. They realized there was a need for some communication with the newly arrived immigrants, mostly from Cuba, coming to Atlanta, and they kind of worked with a group of Cuban immigrants at the time, and they established the conference downtown.
In his Irish way, said that I should come down to the office when I got settled in the spring, and that he would find a few things for me to do, because he really didn't understand what my time would be taken up with in suburbia in a one-bedroom apartment. And so the next spring, that's exactly what I did. I went ahead. And he had me doing all manner of little special projects. I'd come down there once a week or so and spend the day.
I'm 86 years old, so Virginia and I go back to the Depression days. I'm a cradle Catholic, born in Atlanta. And so therefore, I remember the time when there were very, very few Catholics in Atlanta. And so after I came back from the war, Virginia and I married, and we moved to Hapeville. And there were still, at that time, only 4 parishes. We had gotten Christ the King in '36, but before that, there were only 3 small. I joined the society. I don't even remember it being a society. We had a St. Vincent conference in Hapeville before St. John's was ever became a parish. It was 1951.
No, they invited me to be a member of it, and I said, no, heck no, I don't want to be part of that. I mean, just leave me alone. And about a few years later, I guess George Gunning with Christ the King and another couple of people from Christ the King asked me if I could join the Christ the King conference. So finally in '71, I said, okay, I'll join the society. And then the people of Our Lady of Charity said, why do you do that? How come you didn't join us? So about maybe in the about 8 or 10 years later, I joined also the Our Lady of Charity conference. So now being a member of both conferences, you might ask the presidents, do you attend all the meetings? No, I do not attend all the meetings, but I'm a member.
I would be able to visit families and go out, and that's what he wanted someone to be able to do. Mm-hmm. Because they had a program there. It was a Head Start program started, and they wanted to have a chance to go visit the families as well as the children, and so that's what I did for a while. And then after I had my baby, he said, don't worry if you can't come in town. St. Jude's has a ladies' auxiliary, and you can visit.
Jenny and I lived there for 4 years, and then we moved to St. Thomas More. And I remember we and another man named Larry Labonte, he and I started St. Vincent there. And back in those days, we would use a coupon booklet. It's like a coupon, it's like a check. Mm-hmm. And we would go see the families. The most that we could give them was $25. But we would
my
write
new
that
parish was for men only, I found out. And I was very disappointed. When Transfiguration Parish opened, we lived 1 mile from that church and were thrilled to death to have a new parish. And within a year, the pastor, Ray Haran, invited whoever would like to start a conference to come to a meeting. And I was wondering whether that would include even women. So I went to the meeting, and a number of people, men and women, and nothing was ever said. And ever since then, it's just been a part of my life.
The best thing that ever happened in the state of Georgia for St. Vincent was that God sent leaders, where today we have only one conference. All conferences operate as one conference. And so that has brought a tremendous growth, recognition, and that's why you see the figures that you see in your portfolio, is because St. Vincent will
I remember
operate
that
as
there were
one.
very few conferences at the time. I think actually most of the conferences were that District 4, in-town district, maybe 7 or 8 conferences in that area. And I think you have a little bit of, well, of course, IHM and some of the other ones, well, a few conferences were around at the time. And you see from that little nucleus of conferences now, I think we got 70 conferences throughout the whole diocese. Is not just Atlanta. It goes all the way to Dalton, and it goes all the way throughout North Georgia. And it's amazing the growth because the needs are there, and we were very limited on what we can do outside the metro Atlanta. And even the metro was a very small metro. But that was, so I've seen that as a large improvement of services to the community. And the fact that we have created these districts, I think they're more in tune with what is happening with the, you have groups of people that meet regularly instead of a large body of members that some maybe were even disconnected with the central office and so forth. So I think we have grown quite a bit from the beginnings, which is great.
I've seen a
Great.
slow, beautiful progression of the diversity of the members, both in age and in their expertise. And we've been able to create new programs here in our council throughout the metro. And we just want to include the people who are poor into the mainstream of our society. We really do. Because they still are somewhere in a hidden place most of the time. And their needs are not on
But
anyone's
really the needs of
agenda.
everybody. And they ask me, oh, how come you're, well, helping this individual? It has nothing to do with the Catholic. He's not a member. Has nothing to do with it. The need is there. Look, I guess Jesus didn't ask anybody, was he a Jew or a Samaritan or what? I mean, he just helped whoever was around there that needed help. So I think that's important to really emphasize that the society is open to everybody, and we accept and help everybody, and that's important.
You
to
work on a case.
emphasize.
You go home and you get on your knees and say, thank God for the many blessings.
Just really find out what wonderful people are out there, and it enriches your life. You find Jesus everywhere.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence till you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains